If you think this is a goosey soup, you are totally wrong. Hello, Valley family. Join me as we make this very delicious Beniseed or sesame seed soup. This soup is very delicious and is made with this sesame seed or Beniseed, depending on what you call it. This is how it looks like. It looks like a goosey quite alright, but this is like the tinier version of it. This is very tiny, and the seed has this very tough texture, unlike a goosey. Goosey is more lighter. So first of all, we are just going to toast this in our frying pan till the color turns like this. You know that it is ready. It's going to add the flavor of this. It's going to give it this smoky and tasty, like it's going to taste like nuts and egusi at the same time. So after smoking this, we are just going to take this off fire, allow this to cool before we proceed to blend. And one thing I want you to bear in mind that this seed is more tougher than the egusi in terms of texture. So once we are allowing that to cool, proceed now to prepare our soup base. And to make this soup base, we're using old layers chicken. In my place, we make this soup with old layers chicken. It adds to the taste of the soup. Add it to your pot. Add in some of your chopped onions. Add in your uziza seed powder. Please don't skip it out. Add in some of your seasoning. Add in salt. You're just going to stir this all together. You know how we do it right here. So we are just going to stir this all together, cover up your pot and allow this to cook in its own juice. Trust me guys, when you make this soup, everyone who tastes it is going to ask you for more. Just take a regular break from making your regular egusi and try this. It is very very good. So I'm just going to allow this to cook in its own juice before we add in water. Just before this starts burning, we are just going to open up the pot, add in the stockfish that we are using for this. For this, I'm using the stockfish head. Feel free to use any part of stockfish that you want for this. So add in your stockfish. I'll be adding in some pomo. The pomo needs to cook down a little bit, so I'm adding it at this point. So I'll just add in water to this, the water that is big enough to cook this till it is ready. Also, before we cover up the pot, just proceed to add in your crayfish. You can add your crayfish in two parts. So I'm just going to add some parts of the crayfish at this stage. Stir everything all together, cover up your pot and allow this to cook. Right now, we are going to proceed to blend the Beniseed as the soup is on fire. So add in the Beniseed into the blender, added in some yellow habaneros. So I'm just going to blend this. Halfway through the blending, we're adding in one egg. This is going to help with the texture of this seed. It's going to give it a more lighter and fluffier taste when you eat this. Remember I told you earlier that the seed is more tough than a goosey. It's very hard in terms of texture, unlike egusi that is very light. So after blending, this is what we have. So I'm just going to check on our soup base. It is already boiling and the aroma is really coming out at this stage. So I'm going to pour in the already blended bene seeds, the peppers and eggs. Just pour it into the pot. Just stir this all together. Add in your palm oil and allow this to cook. Looking at this, it looks like egusi quite alright, but the difference is in the text and in the texture. So don't make a mistake to cook it the regular way you cook your egusi. You're going to cook this one a little more longer than the way you cook your egusi. So I'm just going to cover this and allow this to boil. So after about 30 minutes, this is what we have. The benin seed is properly cooked at this point. So add in some of your bala fish if you are using, or if you are using dry fish. So add it in at this stage. Add in the remaining parts of your crayfish if you still have. Just stir this all together, stir and adjust your seasoning if need be. So at this stage, the aroma from this is just so good. The soup is almost ready. Just take a look at how it looks like. And we are just going to finish this all by adding it in the leaves for the soup. And the leaves that we use for this soup is usually the ozoza leaves. The ozoza leaf is just going to highlight the taste of this soup. So add in your already cut ozoza leaves to it. Stir this all together. You're not going to off your gas immediately. Allow the aroma from the ozoza leaves to come out first before you turn off your heat. So I'm just going to stir this all together. Make sure that everything is well mixed properly. See, guys, if you try this soup out, you will understand when I mean that the taste is totally different from egusi. It is what it is so delicious. So I'm just stirring this all together. I'm allowing this for a few seconds on fire or minute, depending. Once you once you're able to taste or perceive the aroma from the uziza leaves, just know that your soup is ready. Do you also make this soup? Is the process the same with the way you make yours? If it is not, just try this method out. You're going to really enjoy the Beniseed soup. So I'm just giving it the final stir and I'm turning off my heat at the stage. And the soup is just basically ready. I'm just going to serve it all for you guys to see. And I pair this with my favorite swallow, which is Eba. So if you have watched this recipe to this point and you've not yet subscribed to our channel, just take a moment and hit the subscribe button below. I share relatable recipes that you find very interesting. And to my returning subscribers, you know you have a special place in my heart, right? And just take a look at this soup. If I don't tell you, how will you know that this is not egusi? And when you taste this, you'll be asking, which soup is this in particular? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share. I'll see you guys in another recipe. Bye.